Jeremiah 29. Jeremiah chapter 29. Charles and Barbara, good to see you. Thank you for driving all the way over. Appreciate that. Some of the sheep at my church, appreciate them. And thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dr. Gregory, it's good to see you. I love you too, buddy. My children still remember that picture of you in our home, reclined in the recliner and snoring. That was the best lunch we shared. Yeah. Chapter 29 of Jeremiah. Verse 1. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem to the residue of the elders which were carried away captives, and to the priests, to the prophets, to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. The thought I'd like to bring to your attention is this: make the best of your Babylon. I'll give you my prediction for 2025. It's in the Bible. Wax worse and worse. Well, preacher, you're supposed to be an encouragement. You're supposed to tell us an exhortation. 2025 is going to be great. Only if Jesus comes. Otherwise, we better prepare for worse and worse. The Israelites were sent into captivity. They did not want it. They did not ask for it. They wouldn't have had that gift wrapped under a Christmas tree. But they found themselves in a foreign land with pagan idols, with a dictator who would just as soon kill them as look at them. They had lost everything, left behind everything that they knew as home and family and tradition. And they were now faced with a seemingly insurmountable roadblock. Yes, sir. They could not worship like they used to. Their diets were different if they would choose to. Everything was different in Babylon. I'm wondering if things should change in your private world this year. Perhaps the death of a loved one. Perhaps the doctor calls you and says, I've got bad news, that cancer word is in your diagnosis. Or maybe that one who said, I'll love you till death do us part, and now they're disloyal and gone. How about those adult children who make stupid decisions? Financial reversal. Anything, one phone call this year could change the rest of your life. You would be plummeted into your personal Babylon. And we're going to have to make the best of what God gives us. Say, well, God wouldn't give that to us. I want you to look at verse 4. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I, this is God speaking, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. While they were mourning and weeping, and while their hearts were broken and their lives were so changed drastically, God said, I carried you away. I caused it to happen. Those are tough words to swallow, even for the most spiritually minded Christian, to have to think that, man, what's hurting me most, God caused. What is killing me spiritually inside in my heart, God caused it. Say, well, I'm just not so sure I believe that. Drop to verse 7. And seek the peace of the city whither I have caused you to be carried away captives. Second time, God says, I caused this. Well, are you sure, Preacher Graham? Yes, drop to verse 14. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity. And I will gather you from all the nations, from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord. And I will bring you again unto the place where I caused you to be carried away captive. Now the question may be for some of us this year, why me? Why this? Why now? My question is sometimes, how long, O Lord? When the pain and the hurt and the brokenheartedness just seems to go on, and it just doesn't seem to get any better. You begin to say, oh God, how long? Wow. Why me? Why this? Why now? But the tough realization is that God has a definite purpose, and God has a plan, and God is working in us and through us and for us. His total holy purpose for our design. And we can choose to rebel, we can choose to run, or we can choose to resign. So God, you caused this. It will only make it worse for me to rebel. God, you caused this. I've got nowhere else to run. So I think I'll just say, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. And give me this day my daily bread. Are you going to rebel, run, or resign?